Alright, I am on my way to the Ugelet, which is the like SOS doctor 24-hour thing where you can go if you have sort of a medical emergency that can't wait till normal business hours. I'm going there partially because it's Sunday, and I don't think I can wait till Monday, but also let's see. What was I gonna say? I totally lost my train of thought. Right, also because I'm not quite sure how the medical system here works. I know if you have local Hungarian healthcare, you pay the equivalent of about 20 euros a month, and you've got healthcare coverage, which is pretty cheap compared to what you would pay in Germany. It would be like a couple hundred, but the coverage is probably not comparable. I'm not sure. I posted in this expat group asking for the website where you have the like doctor database and you can search by specialty and language and location and see them on the map and all of that. And the most common comment that I got was, you're asking for too much because they don't have that kind of thing here. And I got links to 3 different websites. One was a list that the embassy puts out of English-speaking doctors. And I called a couple of them the other day, but it seems like they are all private doctors or practices. And the others, I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like, even if I plugged the website into a translator, I couldn't quite figure it out. And I found the right specialty, and it was still like this whole long list of doctors, and like I have really no idea where to begin. So I just kind of put it off, and now my inhaler is completely empty. It was like I puffed it once, all was good. I puffed it one more time, and like I could immediately tell, like, shit, it's empty. And I don't think I can wait that much longer because I have this like purple disc that you're supposed to take once or twice a day, is like the preventative inhaler. And I ran out of that one several weeks ago. And ever since then, I've been having these coughing fits that go on, like, and keep popping up all throughout the day. And I guess I didn't like realize that it was related to asthma. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So I thought that I was coughing probably just because I had a cold and I had to like cough up some phlegm. But it has been going on for a couple weeks, and it's been pretty bad, and I think part of it has to do with that disc inhaler running out around the same time. And yeah, I don't know. I guess so. Yeah, I've been using the rescue inhaler a lot since the disc ran out, and I'm just scared to deal with not having it. So what I was thinking when I left Germany was, first of all, I was only supposed to be here for 2 months, and now I'm planning to stay for 3. There was always the possibility that I would go back sooner, but I didn't expect to be staying longer. And I thought I had enough medication to last me until about now, which wasn't quite accurate, but still pretty close. But I definitely don't have enough to last me another like month and a half. So I was able to just email this form to my doctor's office, and it turns out like that wasn't enough, but they were able to call the insurance and confirm that I was covered and everything was fine. They sent the medicine to the pharmacy, and then I was sort of stuck at that point because the medicine was there waiting to be picked up, but I had this friend who I talked to before who's dealing with a lot of issues and doesn't have a car, and I didn't really want to like burden her even more. So I asked another friend who's very forgetful, but at least she has a car, and I thought that she would be able to get it done a lot faster, especially because it's something like medicine and it's important, and you know that you don't forget as easily. But unfortunately it's been quite a few weeks and she's been very difficult to get a hold of, and I'm just at the point now where like she's about to send the package, but I just can't wait anymore. And especially because once she sends it, it's gonna take probably a couple weeks to arrive. I don't know how long exactly, but I ordered this t-shirt like I think 3 weeks ago, and it still hasn't arrived. And I've heard sometimes packages can take up to 5 weeks, even if like 2 is normal. So you know, I definitely don't want to be stuck not able to breathe for such a long time. So luckily this emergency doctor is just like 7-minute walk from the hostel, and I'm just about there now. I'm hoping they accept my insurance and I don't have to pay out of pocket, and that they give me what I need, and there's not too much of a wait, because I've dealt with these kinds of places in France and it really wasn't the most pleasant experience. Alright, I just walked into the practice. It was totally dark. I was afraid that they were closed, and I rang the bell twice. Then this lady comes out and she doesn't speak English. She goes upstairs, talks to someone, and then she comes back downstairs, gets on the computer, uses Google Translate to tell me she just told the doctor and he's coming. So I'm thinking the doctor's right upstairs, right? But 50 minutes later, she just came and told us that the doctor's not going to be here until about 7. So I think like another hour and a half. And she said we can either wait that long or leave and come back. So since the hostel's so close, I figured I might as well go back and try this again a little bit later. Alright, I'm heading back to the doctor now. I basically slept up until I left to go to the doctor, and I just slept again like this past maybe like 45 minutes, which tells me that I'm definitely overdoing it right now. I really should have been resting today because I already overdid it way more than I had planned yesterday. But obviously I want to check this out and see if it works. Still alright, so while the last hostel had quite a few Hungarians and I think some of the guests pretty much lived there and just like, worked locally because it's cheaper than paying rent. This hostel only has one Hungarian, and she was saying they're probably not gonna help me right now. And there is a sign on the door saying that they don't really want to help you with prescriptions. Like you should go to your regular doctor during the week for that. I don't know if they'll help me in this case because it's kind of a bit more urgent that I'll be able to breathe, or if they could at least tell me where to find the local doctor that I can go to. Alright, I just went back. I'm like right next to the place right now. In front of the door, there's this guy wearing this like red shirt that says VIP ambulance, and he's telling me that place is only for emergencies, they don't do prescriptions, and if I want prescription I need to go to the hospital, which is kind of far from here. Don't really feel like dealing with that right now, but I'm definitely having trouble breathing, so I just went back to the hostel to eat. I'm exhausted right now, but I'm gonna go to the hospital now because I'm just afraid that if I don't go, I'm gonna have too much difficulty breathing tonight with no inhaler at all, and that I'm gonna be crashing tomorrow either way, and I'm not gonna be able to get up and go find a normal doctor and go out. So I'm gonna at least give this a try and hope that it works. Alright, I just walked out of the hospital. When I went in, it's actually a military hospital, so it's being guarded by soldiers, and I went up to them. They didn't speak English, so I translated the word emergency room, and then he comes and shows me where it's written on the floor, and there's this red line that goes all the way through the hospital to the emergency room, and I just followed that. And then I get to whatever the like check-in counter, and I'm waiting for this lady for somebody to acknowledge me. And then finally, this lady looks at me, and I start explaining what I want. And she said, so this lady turns to help me, and I showed her that I want these medications. And she said, I need to go to the local SOS doctor. And I'm like, I came from there and they told me to go here. So she actually tried to call them, came back and told me they didn't pick up, and then tried to call them again. And then second lady comes out, who I'm guessing was the doctor, and was very, short-tempered and just angry, not very pleasant. And she said, it's an ER, it's for emergencies, it's not for prescriptions. They don't give out pain medication at all, and they don't have the one that I normally take. And yeah, I guess like I was saying, even like if they give me something similar that does the same thing, that would be fine. But she's like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, you need to go to a doctor for that. And and she asked me how long I've been out of all of these medications. And I said, I made the mistake of saying too much and being too honest, and I told her that the disc has been empty for a couple weeks, and the other inhaler, the rescue inhaler, ran out today. But she wasn't really open to listening to the fact that I've been using the rescue inhaler way too much because I don't have the disc, and I need both. I need to take them together. And she said she cannot offer me the disc at all. I need to go to a pulmonologist for that. I don't think I've been to a pulmonologist in my life. But yeah, apparently there's no way to get the disc. After that, another lady had me like fill out a registration form to show that I'd been there. And then she came and brought me like a bill, which came out to about 29 euros for the inhaler. And then I said, will my insurance cover it? I gave her the card. She came back and said, yeah, okay, there's no charge now, so I can go get the inhaler from the pharmacy. I guess that doesn't quite answer the question of if there's a charge for the inhaler itself, because that would have been the bill for just the ER. After I signed and she left, it was like an hour and 20 minutes after I got there, I sat there for another 30 minutes thinking she was gonna come back and like bring me something, like hopefully the inhaler. And then finally I get up to ask what's going on, and I'm kind of like talking more toward her, and then like the second woman, the presumed doctor, was cutting in and staffing, and just like, we're not the pharmacy's closed, you can use your phone, Google search it to find one that's open, and yeah, so now I've got to go find a pharmacy. Enough, I noticed that when I was in the hospital, I was coughing when I first got there, and then it stopped and I was fine for most of the time. And now, as soon as I walk back outside, I'm coughing again, like I'm short of breath. And I definitely noticed and like even pointed out in the first couple weeks I was here that I could tell the pollution. I mean, I could smell it. I was like very consciously aware of the pollution being like pretty bad here, but I didn't notice it having an actual effect on my health until just now. And I realized, yeah, maybe this is a problem, which is, maybe just one more reason it would be good to leave the city and maybe spend some time someplace else. But on the other hand, I've heard that the food in Hungary in general is just not nearly as good as the rest of Eastern Europe. And after seeing the food in the suburbs, I just I feel a lot safer being in the city center, where I know that I can find like decent quality food. And I'm afraid to venture out and end up stuck somewhere where I've got nothing to eat. So times like these where I kind of wonder if staying here is really gonna work out. Alright, so once I left the hospital, I was going to go straight to the pharmacy, but I had to walk down a block from the tram to get in this cable car, and the driver was just sitting there, not even moving. I came up and he wanted to see my ticket, and at first it was blocked by something, so I move it, I show him the ticket, and he, you know, most of the time they don't ask to see a ticket at all, but if they do, they just kind of glance at it. But he actually looked at the date and he realized my ticket was expired, and then he wanted me to pay. I pull out all of my change and count it up, and it's like half of what I need for a ticket, so he's still not gonna give me the ticket. So you know, I go to like put my change back in my wallet, and I've got like my stuff laid out on the front seat, and he thinks, I guess, that I'm like going back to sit down, and he like comes out of his box and just kind of like stands there making sure that I'm about to get off the bus. And I had like bills that I could have paid with, but the guy was just being so like rude and like grumpy and you know, like saying all this stuff, of course I couldn't understand, but it clearly didn't sound very friendly. So I was just like, whatever, I'm not getting on there. And the next one was like 20 minutes later, so I just walked back a block to the tram and got in the bus back to the hostel, which also worked out well because my phone memory was full and the battery was pretty much dead. But I started coughing and I feel a little bit better, so I wanted to go ahead and try to go out again. And I just came out with this guy from the hostel. We're sitting at the bus stop, but every bus that pulls up, these people in yellow vests come out and they look like ticket checkers. So we just sat there for the first bus, the second bus, and then the third bus comes up and he's like, oh, that bus is going to the airport. You're not going to the airport, are you? You're not leaving us. And I'm just like, no. And then he goes and gets in the bus and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, get out. And then the bus just like drives off with him in it. So yeah, now I'm here at the bus stop and not quite sure what my next move is. Hey, he's back.
Heck yes.
I thought you were like lost in the abyss for all eternity.
I was just a little bit. I just went out of place for a minute in space-time continuum, but now I'm back. I'm actually back, and I'm back in black with my. Why do I have this in my head? I have. Is this my jacket? Why am I wearing this in my head?
While he was gone, like a bunch of these people in the vest appeared all at once, but they just got on the last bus, so hopefully we can get the next one.
Yes. And I got Pringles, so y'all want any?
Yeah, feed the camera.
Feed. Oh my god, it's just crumbs in here.
You ate the whole fucking thing?
I ate the whole thing.
Alright, we finally got a bus with no controllers, but what I noticed, apparently if you're in the city center during the day and you press the button for the stop, it doesn't actually buzz or light up, because I guess they're stopping everywhere either way. But apparently at night you do need to press it, because I didn't press it and we missed our stop. So now we're walking. So, Alvin.
Yo.
How's your tie?
I told you, I don't do ties. I hate ties.
How's your tie?
I hate ties. I don't do ties.
How is
ties or bows? I don't do ties or bows. Like, no ties, no bows for me.
How is your spoken tie?
What do you mean a spoken tie?
How is your spoken tie?
What are you talking
like,
about?
How is your level of tie?
I don't do ties. I don't do ties or bows.
Dude.
Like, it's not like I'm like a t-shirt type of dude.
Okay.
Like, no.
Where do you live?
You know where I live.
Where do you live?
LA and in fucking Bangkok.
And where's Bangkok?
In Thailand.
And how is your tie?
Oh no, fuck off. No, that tie is like zero, it's like non-existent. Like I do not do ties. Kapong ha. That's about as far as it's gonna get.
Alright, more than me though.
That's
Get this as a plant.